I'm Anne, co-host of Transparency in Teaching, a part of the Education Podcast Network, just like the show you're listening to now. Shows on the network are individually owned, and opinions expressed may not reflect others. Find other interesting education podcasts at edupodcastnetwork.com.
Hey, Mrs. Martin, it's really nice outside. Can we please go outside and do our podcast today?
I guess we have all our work done, then we can go outside. Thanks for listening to the Tech Tools for Teachers podcast, where each week we talk about a free piece or two of technology that you can use in your classroom. I'm your host, Shanna Martin. I'm a middle school teacher, technology and instructional coach from my district.
And I'm her producer and husband, Fuzz Martin, and I make sure that we have the proper building blocks for this show each and every week.
Clever.
Here we are, outside on the patio.
Outside today.
On the deck. We had a
deck.
discussion. Yes, this is a deck, yes.
We were outside on the deck today because it's beautiful and we didn't want to record in a basement or in an office.
Yeah.
So there'll be birds tweeting and there's airplanes flying overhead.
There's wind chimes behind us. We have a really ambient neighborhood where we have lots and lots of birds. We have lots of wind chimes.
The birds start at 4:45 every morning.
Yeah.
With your window open. It doesn't matter if you were sound asleep because the bird condo complex is in the pine tree behind our house.
It is. It is. Last night, though, we had an owl that was hoo, 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 really loudly. I thought they were going to come in the window and,
I thought it was
drop off
shouting in our window.
I had to check my daughter's room to see if they dropped off a letter for her to go to Hogwarts.
Yes.
But alas, she's too young.
She is.
So here we are, episode 154 of the Tech Tools for Teachers podcast. We're in the last week of your school. I know some other schools have ended already.
Some are done, yep, and some will continue on for a couple of weeks. I know out in Connecticut, they're going at least until like June 13th, June 18th or so. So, yeah, we're wrapping it up. So here in Wisconsin, a lot of schools are finishing up this week, and then
couple next week and a few next week.
Within the next couple of weeks, we're all going to hopefully take this break, or some will take a break and then start again early August just because of how things go. And I know many of you teach summer school. So I'm hoping this week's tool either will get you through the last few days or would be a super fun project to do in summer school.
Yeah, I totally agree. And the last time that we did a similar episode to this, we got a lot of...
Yeah, everybody loves these kind of sites.
Yeah, exactly. So
they're
it's
high demand.
Yeah, well, because it's fun not only for your students, but it's also something you could use for your
so
own.
Basically, when I was playing around with this, I'm like, oh, well, we're just going to play around, but also when you're on your deck in the summertime, not thinking about teaching and maybe, planning your dream house, you're inspired after the new movie, or maybe you want to just redo your home. That is what you can do on these sites as well.
Maybe you're taking up an interior design,
another hobby, or another job. So,
got to afford that teaching habit,
right? Both sites today are going to highlight different ways to do 3D house design. The site I've used in the past, I've talked about, is Floor Planner, which has always been a hit. Everybody loves Floor Planner. Well, you can always use Floor Planner. But you can also check out these two sites, which also have super fun 3D design components to them. And you can use them with your students. Mm-hmm. I would say middle grade and up, or definitely as a teacher, because they're really fun to play around with.
Exactly.
And one of them you can order the furniture right from. But, okay.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, we'll get there. So the first site we're going to talk about today is called Planner5D.com. So Planner 5, the number 5D.com. And this site, it's awesome. It is a house planning site. It plans you with your projects. You can choose from their general design or your own new project. So you can choose, you pick new project once you sign up. So both of these are sign up sites. They're pretty easy. They just need your email per usual so you can save your information and stuff. For Planner5D, you can start from scratch. They have a little wizard. You could upload a plan. So if you're an adult and want to upload a plan, you can. But for kids, starting from scratch is the best way to do this. You also, if you really are inspired, you can hire a designer right off the site and they'll redo your home for you. But these are so fun. I have a few students this year in particular that are really into home design. I always have kids that love playing around in 3D home design because it's fun. It's fun to make your dream house. It's fun to make restaurants, or it's just fun to build projects this way. And you can do these for storyboarding. A lot of times I have students use 3D planners to build a house of a character from your book. This does not have to be a design class. You can absolutely use this in a design class, but you can use this in all kinds of content areas.
You can make a setting for a slide drop.
Absolutely. Right? Or when we're talking about the Titanic, make a room on the Titanic. We talk about classes on the Titanic. What would that look like? So you can just use these all different ways. It doesn't have to be, just to design a site.
Right.
Or design a house, but they're so fun. I have a student who's very into arches, and she's like, "Oh, can I put archways in my fallout shelter?" I'm like, "Sure, yes, you can."
I want it to be safe yet classy.
But classy. So Planner5D allows you to do this. You pick create your own design,
room dimension,
your room dimension. So it starts you off with 5 meters by 5 meters. You can change it however you want to. And again, this is the free version of it. And then what's nice about this, it's super user friendly. So I'm not messing around with walls too much. I can just drag it and it goes and it tells me exactly the amount of inches. So if we're mathing this for math class, we can just stretch it to 6 meters. And then it's very user friendly where there's not a lot of clicking and dragging and finding things. It's there. What's great is there's a back button. So if you mess it up, you just click back and it fixes it for you.
Good. You
can choose first floor or you can add new floors as you choose to in the bar across the top. And then on the left-hand side, it's got all those fun extras. So you want to add your doors. You can choose room doors, entry doors, glass doors. The one thing I will tell you with this one is Planner5D. They have lots of free options, but if they have a little lock on them, that means it's the premium version.
Okay.
So just be aware when kids are playing, they're like, "Oh, I want to use this one. It's not working." Well, that's because you chose the premium version and it costs $2 million. So make sure that you choose.
Is it really expensive?
No.
Okay. I didn't think it was $2 million, but if it was
no.
$2.
And if you switch over to Pro, then you have a monthly fee kind of deal. So because then you can really buy these house plans if you choose to. And so they've got the furniture options. Again, upholstered furniture, armchairs. There's always options to choose from for designing. And then there's the expensive ones. And it'll tell you right away, you stumbled upon a premium feature. So that way kids aren't doing things that they're not supposed to do.
Sure.
It stops you right away from doing that. So they can pick and choose their design. And they've got plants you can put outside. And they have trees. And they can do a whole garage setup if they want to outside their room. And it's just kind of cool because it gives them the options of designing their rooms or their homes. They can add room by room, design room by room throughout. And then what's nice is then you click the little 3D button on the top. There's not a bunch of stuff you have to find. You just click 3D, boom, your room is automatically in 3D on your screen, which is really cool. And then they can see it. They can screenshot it and share their friends and all that kind of stuff. They do then have the option where you can click realistic render, and it will give you the best angle for the render. So it sets it all up for you. You click save, and then it'll just save it as a screenshot for you, or it can do a full rendering of it if you want it to look more real. And it'll just save that for you, and then you have that choice. And it'll say, while things render, it'll tell you when it's ready. So it's really easy to get your images when you're done. And it's really easy to have access to your stuff. So then you have a little project folder with your renderings and then your textures and stuff like that. So everything's right there. It'd be hard to lose their stuff, which is always a thing with our kids. And so, so they can just click and create and make their own little dream homes, and then they can print them or share them or use them as backgrounds for whatever they want to, and add little characters in later on if they want to. But it's just a cool way to design rooms, and there's a lot of choices with it, and it's very user friendly. And if you give it to kids, you could probably have them within 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes, up and running and designing.
I will say, I looked up, they have educational licenses for this, and I wanted to see how much it would cost. So if you see that, just to save you some time of Googling, it's $9.99 per student per month, which is ridiculous. So unless you have a very small STEM class
or a design class or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. This is not for the educational version is not for that, but for just students just using it,
it's
you
free.
could totally use the free version.
Yeah.
So, but very cool stuff. I need to know, what is the 5th D in 5D? You got height, width, length, and then 4D is usually like smell, if I've learned anything from Noah's Ark and Wisconsin Dells. And then the 5th dimension, I would assume, would be the time-space continuum.
There you go.
I got nothing.
We are going to make time travel rooms.
Nice. There we go. Something to do in your last week of school.
There you go. Awesome. So that's Planner5D. There's a lot of just fun features. Play around. It's a quick learn, and kids could definitely play around with it and create their own little rooms.
Sweet.
So another one, because I couldn't decide because I like them both for different reasons. But that one's a quick, like, ready to go, get it moving kind of site. The second one I have is called Home by Me.
Home by Me.
So it's HOME period BY period me.
As the name.
Home by Me.
Okay.
Okay. And then when you are...
Oh, so like that's the URL is legitimately
yes.
home.by.me.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the URL. Like it's Home by Me, and that's the URL. Something that you need to have your kids do right away is they have to choose what country they are from on this one.
Okay.
Because then it sets the page. So that's something that they have to just be aware of, like when you're having them set up. They do need an email and like their Google to be able to sign in, but then they just have to choose what country they're from.
Okay.
And then it sets it per country, which is kind of nice. And so for this one, you choose your little project. What I like about this one is they have little kind of video setup videos and stuff like that. So they kind of show you, like they walk you through the process as a teacher. If you have kids that need a little more coaching,
sure,
this site is great because it gives you like, hey, this is how you get started. This is where you find stuff. This is what you can do. And that kind of gets you going. They have little inspiration projects and stuff like that. You can choose to create a new project or open a project. And then from there, you have it just gives you blank screen. We love a blank screen. There's also little people they stick in your room, which I think is funny. And this one, it's the space is very simple. So you choose like add a wall, add a room. You draw it in as you want to, decide what you want to put in there. But the same kind of stuff. Pick your flooring. And there's a lot of visuals in this one, like build, furnish, decorate. So then, or brand corner. So, and then once you click it, it doesn't just give you right away to the list of stuff. And then it says here, you can choose mosaic tile or concrete blocks or cobblestone. I'm going to choose cobblestone. And then what kind? And then apply to my surface. Okay, what surface am I going to apply it to? I can click on the room and it'll show me how I want my cobblestone to be added to my backsplash. And then you can work in 2D.
Is that subway tile? Did I see some shiplap?
And so they have 2D mode or 3D mode. And then they also have little footprints on the bottom, which I love because when you click on the footprints, it like you can walk through your house. Beep,
nice.
beep, beep, beep. You do need a door in your house, though, in your room. You need a door if you want to be able to go into the land of 3D. So, I mean, the walking mode. Because like right now I'm standing outside my room because I didn't put a door in yet.
Oh.
So, yeah. And then you can add an exterior to it.
There goes your open door policy.
And then to the exterior, you can add a garden or a patio or a driveway to this one, which I kind of like. Like it gives you the outside options.
Can you add a studio outside on the patio?
I can. Maybe
nice.
I should add that in there. And a little studio.
I feel like our neighbors, by the way, wind chime doesn't go this ham, except for right now that we're sitting outside. Maybe it's just me.
No, I think it's always just you are aware of the wind chime now that everyone is listening to the wind chime.
Clang.
What I also appreciate about Home by Me is if you choose to, I just chose an acacia wood entry furniture. It gives you a product description because on this one, if you're an adult and you have it set up right, you can visit the store and then buy the furniture.
Yeah.
But it gives kids like an understanding. Like this seems so you read a real description. The entrance hall talks to you and your guests. Do not miss this opportunity to take care of personalizing. Like the description that goes into this is impressive.
Sure.
And it teaches kids how to write this is a bench.
Yeah.
They just wrote a paragraph about a bench that makes you want to sit on it.
So it's good for creative writing and descriptive writing.
Great descriptive writing.
Yeah.
Like the site does, I mean, obviously you're a 3D design, the kids are going to have fun playing around with it, but even if they spend 2 minutes reading some of these descriptions, they're going to learn something from it.
Sure,
So I
great.
just appreciate all of the pieces to that. And again, so like I made this cute little room. It's got a cute little round table. You can duplicate it. You can check the measurements. Again, math is always involved. You can 3D, check it out. I got this cute little room with my person with a little garden outside and a little credenza inside. Very easy. You can choose, again, ground floor. You can lock things in place. You can add a floor if you choose to. And then you can go right ahead and save it. And you always have your projects saved. So that's kind of nice. And you can do that into your little folder of things and then screenshot or share it or present it or whatever you have the kids do. They can do that, which is kind of cool. So again, each one has some different features to it. Home by Me has like some outdoor things and just a few more options to it that way, more descriptions. And then when you're in Planner5D, it's going to be a little more straightforward when it comes to like design stuff, but it's easy and fast and up and running. So either way, I say middle school, high school for both of these, and they just have some fun designing and mathing and end of the year, or it could be a whole summer project where they build room by room. If you've got summer school
Sure, yeah.
and you don't know what you're going to do yet, and it's a fun class, they could go room by room each day, building and designing and describing it.
Yeah.
And that
you can
would
make
give
that
you
a summer school elective class.
It could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's just so many cool things, some fun house design stuff. And at this point of the year, we need fun things.
We do.
And if you're not teaching anymore, you can design your dream house.
I need
And
a
it can be
virtual fly swatter right now. I got a
pink.
fly that decided it wants to land on my microphone.
There you go. See, it's about this outdoors. Everyone feel one with nature with us today.
Yes.
I hope you've enjoyed the breeze and the birds and the wind chimes
The neighbors.
and the neighbors.
Grilling out. It's fun.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw.
It's summertime, folks.
Good. Well, thanks for indulging me and letting me do our episode outdoors today. We'll do
It's kind of fun.
We'll do the last one for the season, episode 155.
Probably
We'll
back in the
We'll
office.
do that in the proper studio.
But yes, we will have one more episode this season. We'll do our summer wrap up and suggestions for parents and things like that. So,
Sweet.
on that note, thanks for tuning in. This has been the Tech Tools for Teachers podcast. If you ever have any questions, you can find me on Twitter at SmartNWI. And if you want to get more information on the links to the technology discussed in this episode, you can visit smartnwi.com. If you'd like to support the show, please consider buying me a coffee or two. Visit buymeacoffee.com/smartnwi or visit smartnwi.com and click on that cute little purple coffee cup. Your donations help keep the show going. New episodes each week. Thanks for listening. Go educate and innovate.
The ideas and opinions expressed on this podcast and the Smart NWI website are those of the author, Shanna Martin, and not of her employer. Prior to using any of the technologies discussed on this podcast, please consult with your employer regulations. This podcast offers no guarantee that these tools will work for you as described, but we sure hope they do. And we'll talk to you next time right here on the Tech Tools for Teachers podcast.